Hi there, I'm Scott Hall from Moroso Performance, and this is the Moroso Assembly Department and the Moroso Oil Pump Test Stands. Today we're going to give you a full introduction and overview of how our oil pumps work, both dry sump and external wet sump. Now, this is the same test stand that used to test the oil pumps on Dick Moroso's Xfinity team. Well, we've modernized it with race pack data acquisition, a laptop, and a lot of different ways of measuring oil systems to not only make our product better, but make your stuff perform better for you as well. Now, a test stand is only as good as the information you can get from it, and we've chosen the IQ3 Race Pack data acquisition for that. Now, what we're able to get is we're able to monitor oil temperature, our oil pressure before and after the filter to see if the filter is still working properly, and allows us to actually do oil filter testing as well. We're monitoring gallons per minute with a good proper flow meter, and we're also able to do crankcase vacuum. Now, when we run dry sump pumps, we have a box that actually simulates an oil pan, so we're actually able to create different vacuum levels to see how the oil pump performs. Now we have a horsepower kilowatt meter up here that we're able to convert into horsepower. And we have about a 10-quart oil tank that we're able to adjust both heating it up and cooling it down during our test for the best information possible. And then we can take that, download it to our laptop, and we can share this information with the customer or compile it for our own information. So the reason we're shooting this video today is for one major reason. I did a Facebook post 2 years ago after a friend of mine had his Top Sportsman dry sump system overflow at the racetrack after the engine was warmed up. Now, he had set the level at his shop when the car was still warming up, but once the oil was hot, it actually overflowed at the track. One of the biggest questions we get in the Moroso Tech Department is concerning oil levels, whether it's wet sump, dry sump, drain back situations, how much oil pressure the thing's making, a multitude of things. And they all have one thing in common that we need to know about that you probably don't. What is your oil temperature? Now, everybody thinks oil pressure is the most important thing. The reason is because that's what we read on the gauge. We're going to show you today by having the pump driven at the same 1250 RPM speed, somewhere around there, and maintaining 60 PSI, but changing the oil temperature in 20-degree increments, just how much more flow you're getting. Pressure is the same, flow is increasing. Think about it. When you're trying to pull heat off a bearing in a journal, do you want pressure or do you want volume? All right, so we've just run this pump a few minutes ago, and we started out at 80 degrees oil temperature. Now, your car's sitting there outside your trailer. They're ready to call you up for your first qualifying session. That's probably where your engine oil is. And your water temperature is too. So you fire this car up, your big 632-inch engine, you got 11-inch push rods, all kind of fancy stuff going on. Your 80-degree oil temperature at 1250 pump speed and 60 PSI is about 4.1 gallons a minute. Okay, cool. Now, you let this car warm up for a while. Now, again, we're not monitoring oil temperature, right? But we're monitoring water temperature. I guarantee you by the time you get that thing to 160, 170 degree water temperature, I'm going to say maybe your oil is at 100 degrees. Maybe. That 100-degree oil only went up 1 gallon a minute. Your engine temperature went up 80. Your oil's only gone up 20. You've only gained 1 gallon a minute. It's not a lot. Now you go up, make the lap, do the burnout, you're staging maybe you're finally at about 140-degree oil temperature. Maybe. At that point, we've gone from 4.1 to 5.8 gallons a minute. Big change when you finally got your oil temperature up. When you go through the finish line and you've doubled your oil temperature from when your car sat there that morning, from 80 degrees to 160, we've gone from 4.1 to 7.0. We've almost doubled our flow. Now think about that. You've doubled your flow based on just 80 degrees of oil temperature. That is substantial. Now the question I have for you is, when you call our tech department or you think you're having oiling system problems, what temperature did you check that oil at? Because it makes a huge difference how much that oil is not only flowing through the engine, but how it's getting to the top of the motor, and more importantly, how it's getting back to your oil pan. Comment below if all of a sudden you got some stories that you may want to tell. want to thank you for watching this video, and we hope you're going to watch it a couple times over. But what we really just wanted to show was the relationship between oil temperature and flow. If you have any questions, please comment below. We want a lot of people to get in on this conversation to help others. Or you can go to moroso.com for more information.